Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. We got a list of 19 properties, so a nice big list. I'll try and move through as quick as I can. The first one up is 1360 Main Street East, number 103. $230 is the price. It's a one-bedroom. Ground floor can be tricky. Some people find it's a safety issue. The way I look at it, we're not exactly living in the hood. It's even convenient if you think about it. You might be able to even pull up and put your groceries right into your home from your car instead of moving it up the elevator. So it could actually be a benefit to somebody. You're not waiting for broken down elevators, all that stuff. But the general consensus seems to be that first floors are a little bit tougher to sell, I guess because of a perceived safety factor. But overall, it looks okay. It looks like the sellers are acting as their own listing agents. There's no photos. 371 Bronte, number 86, is at $239.9. And nice big trees here. I think that overall this one looks good. Now the kitchen tiles, I mean, that would have been something that I think would have certainly been a value added. Like if they spent $1,000 to fix that, they probably would have made $3,000 or $4,000. So it's not that hard to fix. It's a little labor intensive. It's a little bit messy, but it's not the hardest thing in the house to do. Even kitchen cupboards at IKEA, it's probably about $100 a linear foot. It's not too bad. So you could do a good job in that kitchen for very little money. You've got some laminate floors here. It looks like they've taken care of the rest of the house pretty well. And $239.9 is almost entry point on these ones. The maintenance fees are $264. It looks good to me. It's actually a good listing. I don't think it's going to last long. Bronte Street, 12A, no photos, $259. This one tends to be a little bit bigger than the previous one. The finished basement, everything else. And it backs onto, I guess, a play area, so there's no neighbors directly behind, which is a nice thing. So, yeah, it's hard to tell with that one there, but that's more in line. I mean, I would say 250 to 260 tends to be the normal float range for those. Hepburn has an extreme fisheye. It's very, I can't even tell what model this one is. It's just so skewed and weird. I hate fisheye lenses. I think they're annoying, and I don't even like, I mean, it almost turns me off right from the listing. 376 semi-detached. I mean, basically entry point for a semi now seems to be around 360, so I don't think, I mean, how far off can they be? 4 Laurier's at 379. It's a relist, and double car garage. It has a perceived locational detriment. I mean, things on Laurier tend to take a bit of a hit. You talk to most of the agents in town, oh, Laurier, but I don't think it's that big a deal. It's not super crazy busy. You're close to Bronte, and there's actually more and more commercial stuff happening on Bronte. So you're walking distance to Shoppers Drug Mart, Tim Hortons, Sunset Grill. There's some good stuff close by. Taking the crap off the fridge definitely helps from a staging perspective. And the rest of it doesn't look too bad. Double car garage, $379. This is one of the better values in town, I would think, for that, for what you're getting. Now, Raftus is our listing, $398.5. It's a Hills View end. It's 1510 square feet. Not Hills View end, Hills View. They come in an end and a normal. This is the normal attached on both sides. Gorgeous finishes inside. Nice dark hardwood. That's a limestone mantle over the fireplace. You've got the iron pickets on the stairs, and it's just really, really nice inside. You've got granite countertops, undermounted sink. You can see you could even put some pendant lights here. There's a couple of pot lights just above the work area by the stove. It's a gas stove. There's a huge walk-in closet here, upgraded counter in the master. So just tons of really, really cool stuff. Even the entry, when you walk in and you have the coat closet right there, the owners actually upgraded that. Instead of the sliding doors, they have the real doors there too. So it's a great listing. $398.5 is the price, very in line with what they're usually selling for. Cartmer Way is a few hundred square feet bigger, so 18 something square feet. Backs onto the train tracks. So if you look at where it is, you can see it's on the south side of Cartmer. We've got these long backyards, and they do have the sloping berm, so it definitely helps with the noise. And then there's your train tracks right there. So going into the home, they actually have pretty nice layouts. They've got nice high 9-foot ceilings, really, really open concept. There's just a couple of pillars that support this place. and so you can have a good look at it right here. So you can see walking through pillar, and then you've got another pillar a bit further down. They're nice. I do like the layout here. I don't think the train tracks causes a lot of noise. I think you notice it. Some people say that after a couple of weeks living close to the train, you don't really notice it. I don't know. I've never lived there, so I can't tell you. $409 is the price. Probably not that far off. I think if they find the right buyer, they could do well. Zimmerman, $416.9. It faces Louis St. Laurent, which is going to continue to become a busier road as Milton grows and as the development happens south of Louis. Again, a very open concept layout on this one here too, plus that finished basement. We had a corner that sold, I think, up in around 420 or 425. It's okay. I mean, it's not, some of these ones are actually joined just by the garage, so there's no interior walls that actually share, and even on this one here, so that can be a bit of a value add there. Arid Court is $419.9, and so we've got a townhouse. I don't know how big it is, but basically you've just got one big room here, and you've got your kitchen with the eat-in. Now the 9-foot ceilings help for sure, and you don't have the same proximity to the train tracks that you would like on something on Cartmer. A little bit more upgraded inside. It may be pushing the price a little bit comparing to what, I mean, even the one on Duncan Lane, the gorgeous one with the finished basement that was a bit closer. It's probably in an okay spot. I don't know if it looks like an awesome deal. 281 Diamont, $419, and this is a great floor plan. This is one of the 3 stories that does not have a backyard. It's got a deck above the garage, hardwood stairs, little plain in the kitchen, but you've got a good looking deck here. What I like is that you're not directly facing anybody here. You've got some views of the escarpment, which is nice, but sometimes when these are like that and that there, they're looking right onto each other. So there's not a lot of privacy. This one here looks like it has a little bit more privacy. And so there's your master bedroom. That's the main floor that you're using as a gym. It has a small kitchenette and it has a 3-piece washroom. I think maybe a week or 2 ago we had another one of these. It was actually a different model, but the real benefit with this floor plan is that you've basically got a ground level apartment, right? You've got a place where an older relative can stay and they don't really need to climb stairs. They can make meals, they can shower, they can do whatever they need to do, they can access their car. That can be a huge benefit. So I think that that's a real winning combination, and the agent's done a good job at mentioning that too. A nanny, excellent space for a nanny. This could work really well for someone. And the price is in line usually with what they sell for. Doesn't really, I'm not seeing a lot of zip in the photos, but it's solid, it's clean, it's decluttered, and that's important too. Now Bar Crescent, $429, $899. You have a 1,800 square foot home. It's called the Spring Ridge, and a bit of an open concept between the kitchen. You've got those 2 pass-through windows, and you can see there's 2 full bathrooms upstairs, finished basement with a kitchen. And if somebody's looking for some kind of, you know, in-law to stay in their basement, this one can be a good option. Bar Crescent, really close to Hawthorne Village Public School. There's some good parks close by, and it certainly gets an A grade from me for location. Kendall is $429.9, and so it's right on the corner of Whitmer and Kendall. And so let's have a look at the house first, and I'll share a couple things. Now, this is it's a little bit higher than the one we talked about on Duncan Lane, facing the train tracks, but it's the same model. Beautiful, I think, a beautiful floor plan. You've got a nice big spot for a table here, plus your family room. Lots of really, really top-end upgrades on this one. Even the light fixture in the eat-in is upgraded, which I do like. And you've got your glass shower. So the Robindale model, it's like 1,600 around there square feet. The Robindale on the end, on the corner, tons of windows, so lots of light in this one here. It's extremely bright. You've got a deck that they've built out, and it's got the brick and stone. Now here's the thing that I just caution you about, is when you look at the zoning map, so there's Whitmer, there's Kendall, and I believe the home is right here, this corner property here, so it sides onto Whitmer. Now you have this little thing called FD, which is future development, so you have to be real careful on FDs. When you have an FD nearby, watch yourself. And then you've got green belt here, so we know that that's pretty much right beside the train tracks. It's probably going to stay green. Open space, so they're probably looking at the trail right down the tracks there. And then you have this RMD2, which is residential medium density 2. We know that there's signs for the Green Life building around there, so there may be approvals in place. I haven't looked deep into what's happening there, but I'd be really, really cautious about what would happen in the RMD and the FD. Vacant land close by the house that you're buying in Milton can spell hot water. And actually, if I go back to this one, speaking of which, there were a lot of people that bought from builders plans. Colin Best and I had a conversation about this. And so the people who bought on Kincardine, and they did not know that this is a potential gas station. So, I mean, there you go. I mean, be really, really careful about this stuff, because what you really want a gas station being right next to your house, backing onto it. And the builder's reps do not work for you, so they don't necessarily have to tell you that. Be very careful. That's my lesson for the day. And so Boothfield, 459. We've got a single car garage up in Dorset Park, 55, 120-foot lot. Great looking in-ground pool. Lots of tree coverage on this one. And the inside looks pretty nice. It's a raised bungalow. The kitchen has been upgraded. There's some moldings. There's some sinks that have changed. And you've got a walkout, looks like, off the master bedroom. The pictures are a little bit blurry and dark, but overall I would say that this one has enough here that I definitely want to check it out if I was looking around the 450 range. Ferguson, 499 is the Thistle Bay, 2237 square feet. We've seen this model sell even up as high as 520 with a little bit more features, but this one certainly looks good. It's only the 8-foot ceiling. The 9-foot on this one really transforms the look, but the counters have been upgraded. There's some extra upgrading of the floors to hardwood. There's a front separate living room plus the dining room, kitchen, family on the main. That front living room can come in handy for a home office, just like what they did. Big ensuite on this one. And you've got a bit of a patterned concrete in the back. I like it. I think there's a lot of good things about this one. I think that it's priced very, very well. Holdsworth double car garage, 509, 2,200 square feet. You walk in the door, and then you've got a separate little living room here. You've got a dining area, then the kitchen, family. Tough one on this one is that the kitchen is very small. For the size of the home, the kitchen I don't think is in line with what most people expect for a home that size. Now the big win on this one is that you've got a very good sized lot. It's a 40 by 100 piece of property, and overall, you know, we look at there was a home that was like 500 square feet smaller than this, but it had a finished basement, and it sold in the low 5s. So these guys are rocking and rolling. I think they're going to do just fine. August 23rd is their possession. And so let's scroll down to the next one. I think my computer just stalled. There we go. So we're on Pringle here, 529, about 1,900 square feet. You do have a separate dining room, California shutters. It looks like there's one lonely pot light right there. And so then you've got your family room and your kitchen. And actually a really nice kitchen, quartz countertops, extra pantry. The moldings on top have a nice effect. All it's missing is stainless steel appliances, and I think that if you wait for the right deal, you can get them for a few $1,000s. You can sell these guys on Craigslist, and you're in great shape. Love the window seat right here too. And then you look upstairs, you've got double sinks in the master, and I think it shows extremely well. It looks like there's a nice little tucked out front porch there, which can come in very handy. At $529 looks like a good price. We don't see many of these. And Hill is actually another model we don't see very many of, $529.9. A little bit bigger than the Albion Bay model. Same idea with the center hall layout. And so you've got your dining off to the side. I really like this floor plan. I haven't seen it probably in a couple years. Pot lights in the dining room. Family room's got a bit of a slope to it, so it's got a little bit of a visually interesting feel. And the kitchen, it's got the center island, it's got a good floor plan. They did the extra pantry space here. And yeah, it's a good layout here. Hill Street is very quiet. If you don't live on the hill, there's really not a lot of reason to go on it. And I think $529 is a good price. So there's some good double car garages in the $5 to $550 range. Stepping up a bit, we've got this one on Gorham, and Gorham is one of my favorite streets in all of Milton. I love Gorham. I've got multiple clients on the street, and because every time I see a home on Gorham, I really toot the horn and say this is one to think about. It's probably about 2,400 square feet. It's on a 46 by 100 foot piece of property. Nice sized piece of land, big enough you could put a pool in here. They've got the wood deck. They got some trees that are coming in. Front living dining right here. Then you've got a little area to go to your washroom. And then you get into the family room, and then the kitchen with the center island. And upstairs, you've got one of the bedrooms, has its own ensuite, and also has a walkout outside. It looks like they've got a retractable awning there too. And they're all nice sized rooms. Now, what they didn't show you was that there's a finished basement. I didn't have a chance to check the virtual tour, but if it has a fully finished basement on this one, I think it's a good deal. This one gets 2 thumbs up, and Gorham is awesome. Okay, Wrigglesworth 649 is the last listing. Now it looks like a Livingston. They say it's just under 2,900 square feet. Well, hate to call it out, but when you look at the Livingston A, which is what this one is, it's either 2737 or it's 3103. It's not 29. It's probably the 27 one. I think once again, Arista proves that they build the ugliest homes in town from the curb. There's a high ceiling here. It's a nice floor plan. There's a little bit of a hobby room just off the kitchen. And they've done some nice upgrades in here. The undermounted sink, the countertops, all the rest of it. Hardwood staircase, glass shower. And they've put some trees in the back too, and that's going to continue to provide benefit for the next buyer too. So I have no complaints with the inside of the home. The outside you could probably live with it, let's be honest. And it's just a good looking home, high 2,000 square feet, and it's at $649, which is what they usually go for if they're nice. So overall, good stuff. July is the possession they're looking for, and that is it for the day. Join us on the buyer class on the weekend. I don't know what we were thinking doing it on the long weekend, but maybe you have a bit more time than you usually do, and maybe you can stop by. So have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.